Hello everybody, welcome back to the hangar. It is a cold and snowy February 1st in North Iowa, and we're getting back to building our van's RV-15. Section 26, next on the docket. Rear spar tank assembly. So we're going to take the left-hand fuel tank out of the crate today and take a look at attaching it to the rest of this rear spar we've been building. If we look at parts required, I really like these instructions. I appreciate all the comments. I'm just getting several about how much these kit assembly instructions, KAIs as they call them, have changed over the years. And the RV-15 iteration from Vance, pretty good in my opinion. I like how they have the diagrams, then they put the parts list, what you need to get out, and they differentiate between left and right. So you can see only two parts, and one of those is the assembly we've already built. The other is the left wing tank assembly, which comes pre-built from Vans, and then 33 solid 470-84-4 rivets. So we'll get the tank pulled out, up on the table. It's actually section 21 that deals with the fuel tanks themselves, the ones that come pre-built. Paper everywhere in these things. So it gives you, I'm going to do section 21 later, the rest of section 21 later, because there are back-ordered parts. One of the fuel drains is missing. I believe one of the fittings down here is missing. So we'll do that later, but we're going to do the clean out and inspection and all that is called for in section 21. They want you to basically run fuel through the tank, make sure there's no debris inside. So we'll get that part done. So let's do a quick inspection of the tank itself. It appears to be really well built. Did a nice job at the factory. Deburring edges and all that's done very nicely. So in section 21, you'll find all the instructions to put these inspection covers on. They get pro sealed on and then screwed on, of course, and then the fittings and the fuel floats for the fuel gauges, all that stuff, the sending units, all come on this end. Like I said, a couple of back ordered parts that we're missing here for that one. But once we get those parts, then we will finish this section up. We'll get the top on and pro sealed, and we will get the pressure test done. They pressure tested them at the factory. They must have, they said on the webinar the other night that they have something built to cover those so they can test them at the factory before they leave. But the instructions do call for you to check them before you install them and all that. So we're definitely going to get that done so we don't have a fuel leak first thing before we get done. But in section 21, the part I'm going to do today is to do all the inspection inside, make sure I think they call them hats, where the fuel has to flow along the back edge to get to the edge of the tank. They want to make sure those are open. You want to make sure you don't have any pro seal. I think the instructions call for to make sure that any little tendrils of pro seal that might come loose, I think you kind of want to clean that up. And then, of course, just any debris from packaging and shipping. I see there's some styrofoam in there we will get out as well, but tanks appear to be really well built. I've seen there's been a few questions about what comes with the kit. The Pro Seal does come with the kit that's required to seal up these fuel tanks, and you actually use it in a few other spots as well. Some of the control surfaces at the trailing edges of them for seal. So it does come with this. It is the Flame Master B2. That's what it comes with. The kit comes with, I think that's a $382 quart on aircraft spruce. So it does come with it. All right, so that's what that joint looks like. Got everything kind of just set in place here and lined up with my two tables. So that's what it looks like. 32 rivets for the connection. Yeah, so we're just gonna Cleco things together here. Switched yokes on the squeezer and getting a better product. Gonna be able to get something like 20 of them in or so, and then we'll have to buck the rest in the middle. Going good. All right, left fuel tank to rear wing spark connection update. Got 22 of the 33 required rivets put in. These are the ones I could reach with the squeezer. Had to change the yoke, and that really improved the accessibility. So I went from the long yoke to the 3-inch yoke with the deep reach, and I started doing a better job at that point. Did have to drill a couple of them out, so I got to use my drill and the rivet out skill, but that went fine. Didn't have any issues with that. I just still getting better at it, but these ones turned out really good, I think. Like I said, the ones once I switched the yoke are really, really flat and really squeeze nicely, and the other ones are all acceptable. So I like it. Looks good. Well, I'm gonna wait to do the ones that require the bucking bar and the rivet gun. I'm gonna do those after the mail comes tomorrow, because I got a little special treat in the mail. I bought a tungsten bucking bar based on all the recommendations down in the comments and all that stuff. So I went ahead and bought a ridiculously overpriced little tiny piece of tungsten, but they tell me it's gonna be worth it, so I can't wait to find out. We'll wait till that comes to work on those rivets that need to be bucked. That'll be next. All right, fast forward a few days. Those tools I was waiting for got here finally. They made a nice little trip, courtesy of the post office, from Michigan to Des Moines, Iowa, where they sat for a couple days, and they went back to Detroit. And finally today, they got delivered. So work's crazy busy right now for me anyway, so I didn't have a ton of time to get much done anyway. So good timing here coming up on the weekend. We'll get some new tools to try out as we finish up this joint here in section 26. I also looked ahead a bit, and I am basically out of parts for the next step anyway. I can only get about 2 little things done anyway, and then I'm moving on. So this is what I was waiting for. I ordered a couple of offset, just pieces, a double offset and a single offset and rivet set for potential future conundrums. I think I'll need it. And yeah, it was $12. And while I was ordering, I thought, why not throw that in? Here's what I've been waiting for, though. Right there. Tungsten bucking bar. Somehow that's $134.99. But man, is it heavy. I'm impressed. And I hear it's going to make all the difference in the world. So I can't wait to try it out. All right. Rivets are in. So as it turns out, tungsten bucking bar, worth its weight in tungsten and in gold. Did a really nice job. I'm sold. Glad I invested in that. That is what we completed. Section 26. All those rivets are in. Assembly's complete. Looks like that. We will move on to section 27 next time, which is putting that, I'll give you a little preview here since I printed them today. Putting that mixer box that we built for the inboard is getting that installed. So it's riveting in that same area. We're just installing that, but I am waiting. I can't do that until these flap tracks called for in this step. You can see them there in blue. I don't have those. They are in the back ordered and missing items shipment that I got notice of getting ready to go out today. So hopefully soon we'll have those and we can move forward on part 27 or section 27. All right, folks, so that will do it for another short night in the hangar. Got those rivets knocked out and section 26 behind us. Like I said, we'll get you an update here as soon as I get those back ordered parts. So we'll start in on 27 for now. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.